Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today you find me back at my shed in the woods here at Camp Bob, and I thought it's time to make a short video and give you my thoughts about the Beaudens solar generator. So what are my thoughts about the Beaudens solar generator? And by Beaudens solar generator I mean this thing, this battery pack. So the Beaudens solar generator or battery pack, because they don't generate anything, they're just storage batteries, and that you can use a solar panel to charge up. So what do I think about the Beaudens? This is the Beaudens battery pack I bought, and it cost me, I think it was £115, and I bought it off Amazon on an offer. And there's an in-depth review by Tech, Professor Hobo, and I'll put a link at the end of this video to his review of the Beaudens solar generator at the end of this video. It's a technical review, so you'll get more technical details about the battery pack. I'm not going to speak about technical details, I'm just going to tell you how I've found it to use. So, what have I found it like? In a nutshell, I wouldn't be without it. If it was to fail, I'd want another battery pack, either one of these or one very like it. They've come on since I bought this one. This is a lithium iron phosphate battery. And it has basically 3 USBs on it. No USB-C, just 3 USBs. There is one fast charge, 2 10 amp 12 volt outlets, and a 240 volt outlet on it. So what have I used it for? I've used this primarily when I'm out and about, either in the van, going somewhere for the day in the car. I might throw this in the back of the car in case we want to charge phones. But essentially when we're camping and when we're up here and away, it's an extra source of energy, and here is the primary source of energy. When I come up to camp, I bring this. It's fully charged when I bring it in. I charge it on from the mains at home before I come. Put it in my cabin and plug the USB in straight away for the lights. So the lights are on virtually all day in the cabin. I don't bother turning them off. And that's its primary use here, just running the lights. Also, charging my phone and cameras. Yeah, cameras these days as well. I've got 2 cameras I charge off this. The one I'm using now, which is a Sony Handycam, and the Osmo Pocket, and this will charge them. So how have I found it to use up here is the big question. Over the last 18 months I've used this every time I've come up to Bob, and a few times while we're away, but primarily every time we come up here to the camp I use this, and I use it straight away for the lights. I do charge our mobile phones, both mine and She That Must Be Obeyed. Both of our phones we will keep charged up on this. If we're here for the weekend, then obviously they'll be charged up overnight from these, so they're ready to go the next morning. I will, if necessary, top up the Osmo Pocket battery. I've not needed to charge the Sony Handycam. It's got a bigger battery and it lasts for what I use, because I tend to use the Handycam now on a tripod. I'll set it up as I've set it up today. Further away, get the zoom. This one's got a zoom on it. Zoom it in where I want it and leave it alone. I can control the zoom from my mobile phone, which is handy. It allows me to start and stop the camera and zoom in and out. Basic controls. So the Beaudens are being used for charging cameras, charging phones, running lights, and during the shelter move, some of you will be aware that after the storms we had this year, I had to move my shelter. Not moved it far, just forward 20 feet from where it was. But during the shelter move and the rebuild, I was using the Beaudens to charge my cordless drill, and I've got a little 12 volt reciprocating saw, a little saber saw, and I was using it to recharge the batteries on that during the build. And that's the only time in the 18 months I've had it where the battery has gone down to 20% or just under 20%. A bit vague on how low it was. It only had one indicator left, so that's 20% or less. And that's only happened once, and I'd use it to recharge my drill a couple of times and the saber saw 3 or 4 times because I'd been getting a hammering that weekend, and run the lights and charge phones. Didn't charge any camera batteries that weekend because we weren't filming anything. So that's the lowest it's ever got. It went down to 1 bar. If you like percentages, then this isn't a battery for you, because the display is just, it has 5 indicators on it, and each indicator is 20% of battery life. So it's got down to 1 bar, and it's only done it once. Usually if it goes down to about 3, I've had a lot of use out of it in charging things. Also, something else it runs, bear with me, I'll have to go and get it. Right, sorry about that, bit of delay, I should have thought ahead. Of late, something else it's been running most of the time we're here is this thing. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot. I take the SIM card. The phone signal here is not very good. I'm on Virgin Mobile, and the phone signal here on my phone is very hit and miss. I might get a signal now and again for a short time, and then it'll disappear. So we thought we'd try one of these Kufi mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. So I take the SIM card out of my phone and I put it in this, and this runs off 12 volts. So I plug it into the beaudens using the 12 volt cigarette adapter, and this picks up the phone signal because it's got an external antenna and a bigger antenna, and I can put it up a bit higher. This will pick up my phone network and broadcast a local Wi-Fi signal, and then I use my phone for the Wi-Fi. So I can get on social media and use things like Instagram, Facebook, Messenger from my phone. I still can't make any phone calls, but I've got internet access, which means I can stream music and watch videos because it's quite good. It's a decent speed off this. So this was quite cheap. I think it was about £50, which is cheap for a Wi-Fi hotspot with external antennas. But it's good enough for here, and I also leave it in the van, so when I'm out and about I can plug it into the cigarette lighter in the van. If we haven't got enough signal for the phones to operate, I can plug that in and we'll get internet access. So the beaudens, this thing over the last few months has been running the Wi-Fi all day and the lights, and it's been doing grand. If you want a small battery for charging devices and having power while you're away camping, even if you're going to be walking a short distance with a rucksack on, you can drop this in the top of your rucksack, and then you've got power for not just you but the family. I mean, if it was just you, you'd take a smaller battery power pack just to keep your phone topped up. I know I used to do that myself, but for here, this is better for me. And if I'm going away with Karen, and if we're going away with the kids, it's a good chunk of power for recharging devices. It's not what you would use if you had a large family and you were going to run tablets and stuff all day, the kids playing games on it. You'll soon drown it. That's really when you need the bigger batteries, solar generators, the EcoFlows and the Jackeries and whatnot. But for me, for here, that's enough. It would be nice to get a big EcoFlow battery and put it around the main camp area, and then we could run some lights off it all night. Well, yeah, that would be nice. Anyway, I digress. Getting back to the beaudens solar generator. If you're after something that's just got USB on it and a 240 volt inverter, you could run a laptop charger off it, and you can run, as I say, cordless 2 battery chargers. I've charged my drill driver and reciprocating saw batteries using this. And that's the only time it's gone down to 1 bar or less than 20%. It's been really good, I've got to say. I'm well chuffed with it. It takes up no space, it weighs nothing. I'm glad I've got it with me all the time, and I'm glad I've got it with me here because it's now running my Wi-Fi and my lights. So that's my Beaudens solar generator battery pack, lithium iron phosphate battery pack. Not massive, but I find it invaluable, and if it was to break, I'd try and get another one. If not, I'd be looking for something about that size that's not too big, bulky and heavy. It might not be right for you. It depends on the use you're going to put it to. The EcoFlows and Jackeries that people, especially the van life community, have been given to try and test and review, and everyone thinks they're brilliant. They probably are brilliant. I don't know. I know my friend at Northern Wild Photography, he's had them to test. But he goes everywhere in his van. He's not having to carry it. They're brilliant, but they're much larger than this. This is a nice little compact size, sturdy aluminium construction. And it's enough energy for a weekend, more than enough energy I found for a weekend away for charging devices and running lights. So 2 thumbs up for the Beaudens battery pack from me. And it was cost effective. I've got to say, for a lithium iron phosphate battery, £115 was very cost effective. Now, last time I looked on Amazon, there were more than that. There were about 160. They've gone up in price. But everything at the moment's going up in price. So pricing, you'll have to have a search around. There's lots of options, I suppose, and other makes now. But if you do want energy, a battery for camping, I'd have a look at solar generators, solar battery packs, call them what you will. My one advice is go for a lithium iron phosphate battery. There's lots of lithium batteries out there. Go for a lithium iron phosphate. They do last longer, and apparently they're safer. If they get dropped and bent and damaged, they're less likely to spontaneously combust in a Richard Hammond styly ball of fire. So yeah, thumbs up on the Beaudens battery pack from me. I hope that was helpful. If not, you've wasted some time watching this video. So that's the Beaudens battery pack. As I say, at the end of the video there will be a link to Professor Hobo and Hobo Tech, and he's got a much better technical review of the battery. So I think that's it. Just a quiet chill up here for me today. So I hope that was helpful. Ta-ra.